Most agents are using AI like a vending machine. They walk up, punch in a question, grab what comes out, and they walk away. How do I know? I'm getting a lot of this crap from a lot of agents, and I'm like, can you do a better job with the output? And every single time they come back to this AI machine, the machine has no idea who they are. And that's a mistake. And it's costing you hours every week. Today, I'm going to show you what projects actually are in Claude in ChatGPT. We're going to talk about this. And I'm talking about this now because we're going to go over it in our AI coaching that you can jump in. Jump right into this. I'm going to go over why this projects idea changes a lot of how you function and exactly how you need to set one up for your real estate business. I'm Tristan Almada. This is Your Daily Real Estate. It's a podcast. It's a show. It's been going on now for 2.5 years. Can you believe it? That is a long time. And I show up almost every single day. So please subscribe and share this to whoever you think needs this. Here's a core problem with how most agents use AI right now. Most of the time, you open up a new chat, the AI starts from zero, or at least kind of knows who you are based on how you used it. It doesn't know you're a luxury agent out of Miami or Malibu. It doesn't know your tone usually, your clients, your market, your systems. So the first 10 minutes of every conversation is you re-explaining who you are. That's why we love projects in Claude and ChatGPT. A project is a persistent workspace where the AI retains context across every conversation you have inside of it. And it keeps track. So you can see all the conversations and you can go back to them and open them up. You set the rules one time. You upload your files once. You define your voice, your market, your workflow, and then every conversation inside that project starts from an informed position. The AI knows who it's working with. Here's where it gets interesting because projects aren't just about convenience. They're about consistency. The agents who get the best results from AI aren't the ones who ask the best individual questions, although it feels like it sometimes. They're the ones who built the best environment for the AI to operate inside. In Claude, when you create a project, you get a custom instruction field. That's where you put your identity, your voice, your market context, everything the AI needs to know about you before it ever sees your first message. That's on the right-hand side of the screen. And if you don't know how to populate that, go to Claude and say, hey, Claude, I want to create instructions for a project. Here's what I want to accomplish. Can you help me out? That's how easy that is. Now, you also get a file library inside the project, which means you can upload documents and the AI can refer to them every single conversation. It uses them as reference. Think about what that means for a real estate agent. Your neighborhood comps, your listing presentation script, your follow-up email templates, your bio, your brokerage information, right? You upload those once and they're always there. One thing to know though, free accounts on Claude are capped at 5 projects. So fortunately, you will have to pay for it if you want to unlock all of them. The paid plan unlocks more capacity and better document retrieval. If you're serious about building these projects into your business, then definitely pay for it. It's, I think, $17, $20. I don't know, just check. ChatGPT's projects work the same way at the structural level. You define the context, you attach the files, and every chat you open inside that project inherits the setup you built. Pro users can upload up to 40 files per project. From what we've tested out, for most things we're doing, that's more than enough for a lot of the stuff that we do. And remember, you can do multiple projects. So you can have one for your brand. Every time you build out flyers, you can have one for talking to past clients. You could, whatever you want, right? The point is, use projects. Now, the interface looks a little different than Claude's, but the logic is identical. How do we know? We've tested both out. You're building an operating environment, not just a chat window, which is most of the time how we're using chat anyway. The real power of projects isn't the storage, it's the specialization. You shouldn't have one project for everything. What I lightly mentioned before, you should build multiple projects, each tuned for a specific job in your business. Here's how I'd think about setting yours up. And by the way, we are going to set these up like this in our workshop that we're doing next week. We're going to build a listing agent project. I want you to build one. That's one project. Inside of it, put your listing presentation, your CMA framework, your seller objection responses, your pricing strategy language, your preferred communication tone, however you speak to sellers. The point is this: if you don't have any of those, don't put them in. And if you have less less clarity on, let's say you weren't sure on your pricing strategy, how you would set up a CMA framework. You start from scratch and you go to ChatGPT and say, hey, I want to have a better CMA framework. Where would I start? And then go through that. It would take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but then you have an output and then you can add it in there. Now, every conversation you have inside of this specific project that you make about a listing starts with all of that context already loaded. Build a separate buyer's agent project, put your buyer consultation framework, offer strategy, your language that you use for market education, for content, most common buyer objections, which you should have. And if you don't, go to ChatGPT or Claude and ask it, give me the most buyer objections. When you're helping a buyer client and you need to write a competitive offer cover letter or coach them through a bidding war, the AI isn't guessing at your style. It already knows it. Build a content project. Put your voice rules in there. Put your brand language, your posting schedule, the types of content you typically create. Give examples. I like to upload pictures directly in there. My brand kit, the markets you cover, the topics you return to consistently. Every piece of content that comes out of that project will sound like you, also look like that specific content. That's the coolest part. Like, this is how you start building stuff into ChatGPT and Claude consistently. This is how you start standing out using AI. Here's where most agents make another mistake. They build one project, put everything in it, and then wonder why the output feels muddy. It feels like projects are terrible. Well, that's because you've given the AI too many jobs at once. Think of specialization. That's the whole game. One project, one job, one context. The setup process is simpler than it sounds, I think, right? Think about it like this. Open Claude or ChatGPT, find the project feature on the sidebar. And by the way, I think they're in both on the left-hand side of your screen, if I remember correctly. You go to projects, you have to discover projects on ChatGPT, and then on Claude, it just says projects. Click it there, right? Click new project. Name it, whatever that job is going to do. Think of your hiring an assistant. That's what they're doing. That's what you're going to name it. This is for seller client, for helping seller client. Or this is for Instagram and Facebook graphics. Or maybe it's just the voice. You want it just for transcript. Or maybe it's buyer consultation. Don't just name it real estate. And I've seen a couple of you do that. Shame on you. Go delete that one. Start all over. All right. Then after, when you're building this project and you name it right, then write your system prompt. This is just a paragraph or two telling the AI who you are, what you do, who you serve, and how you communicate. How do I communicate? I use contractions. I hate saying cannot, do not, because that's not the way we communicate typically, right? I say can't and don't. And I also use a lot of natural language. In fact, 6th, 7th grade language. And that's okay. Right? That's how most people connect. Now, upload 1 or 2 relevant documents and then start using it. The key is you'll refine it over time. And I think that's the part we forget, that this is how it works. It's not like it's ready to go and it's going to be perfect forever. No, the first version doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to get started. The difference between an agent who uses AI every day and an agent who actually benefits from AI, one of them starts from scratch every time. Hopefully that's not you after this. The other one built a system and keeps returning to it. They add to it, they tweak it. Projects are that system. Today and next week, if you're part of the AI workshops that we do, I want you to open up Claude or ChatGPT and create one project, just one. Pick the part of your business that costs you the most time on writing or thinking. And if it's going to be graphics, I want you to have the examples of the graphics with your brand kit and the colors. That one may be a project in the future once you get this lighter one done. Is it going to be a listing presentation that you do? Is it going to be buyer emails, follow up for your database? Build a project around that one job. You write 2 paragraphs about yourself and your market, upload 1 document or 2, use it for the next few days. Go back to it and say, what can I do better? It's like you're training a brand new employee. And if you don't go back to it, it's like my friend Gary Keller says, which is like, you've got to inspect what you expect. And it's the same thing with AI. That's the move here. Because the agents who figure out how to make AI work consistently are definitely going to have an advantage. And that advantage is going to compound. AI isn't slowing down. They're only adding layers to this. And every conversation inside a well-built project that you've curated over some time makes the next one faster. That's not a feature. That's a business system. And you can scale that and you can grow with it and you stand out. Anyway, share this with anybody you think may need this. And I think everyone needs this. So you better share this one and subscribe to this channel. And if you're not part of AI coaching, take a look at the description. I will add the link there. If I don't find it, just message me and I'll tell you where it is. Subscribe, share this. Thanks for being here. We'll talk tomorrow.